the trademark features of arguably the most famous and feisty duck on the planet. Arild Midthun is Norway's only official Disney cartoonist and personally designs every cover of Donald Duck strips published there. He's famous himself among Scandinavian comic fans.
I started drawing the ducks about 10 years ago. My favorite character in Duckburg is Donald Duck, because his personality is really our worst part of our personality. And at the same time, the one character that I enjoy the most to draw is Magica the Spell, because she's sexy, she's a bit dangerous, and she's graphically very interesting to draw.
Disney isn't Arild Midthun's actual employer, but Egmont, a pan-Scandinavian publishing company that's owned the regional rights to the characters since the 1940s. Arild regularly meets up with writers Knut Nerum and Tormod Lokling at the Oslo branch of Egmont to conjure up new stories.
Now we are all working together, making, as good Donald Duck stories as we can. And our motto is that the best duck story is yet to be told.
Midthun has even had the honor of an entire edition being dedicated to him. This is the German edition. With Donald Duck's popularity having waned in the US, most of the comics now come from Europe. For years, the sailor-suited American icon wasn't even available in his native country, until his reintroduction earlier this year in a limited circulation.
In the US, the superheroes have kind of taken over the market. And I don't know if it's anything with the American frame of mind, because, they want to save the world, they want to be big and strong. While we Europeans, we are content with going about our daily business and not doing much about it.
In Europe, the Disney classics remain by far the biggest player in the comics sector. And most of the stories now originate in Norway.
What is special in Norway, it's a long, long tradition. And I think that it's going from parents to children. And it's a sort of two layers in the Donald Duck magazine. It's one content and humor for the children and another content and humor for the grown-ups.
Midthun's influence is manifest in the regular references to Norwegian mythology, such as the story of Thor's hammer. Many episodes are set in real-world European cities. In this case, Lübeck in northern Germany. 50-year-old Arild Midthun was born in Bergen on the west coast in 1964 and now lives in Sund, just south of Oslo. The picturesque little coastal town is a popular retreat for artists seeking inspiration and rejuvenation. In his spare time, Midthun hosts the occasional workshop at a local school.
When I'm doing workshops like these, it's not really about how to draw Donald Duck. It's basically about visual communication. And then, on top of it, I'm always saying something about, how the universe is put together, the environment, climate changes. I think that Donald Duck, the comics that I do, they are really a nice way to get in touch with the children and then to try to convey something which I think is very important.
Midthun also pens cartoons for a variety of native Norwegian comics. Being a cartoonist, the murderous attack on the French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo in January 2015 was an especially big shock.
As an artist, as a father, it's very important for me that people are allowed to say what they mean and not having to risk their lives in doing so.
Arild Midthun wants to entertain, but also to educate with insightful tales about the contemporary real world.